We're talking about naming chemical compounds today. Nomenclature, it's in some of the books, it's chapter 7. But basically it breaks down into three different parts. It's either going to be a covalent compound, an ionic compound, or a polyatomic. Your brains are probably exploding, but remember, when you're looking at your periodic table, that dark line that goes down through there kind of follows where the metalloids are. What it does is it separates the nonmetals from the metals. Makes it easy. If it's two nonmetals, that means if two of them are on this side over here, it's going to be a covalent compound. If it's a metal and a nonmetal, one of them from over here, one of them from this side, then it's an ionic compound. Polyatomic compounds are ones that have more than two elements to them. Okay, so this one, what we're going to be talking about first is a covalent compound. So when you're given a formula and you're trying to figure out how to do the name for it, first thing you have to do is look and see how many elements there are. In this case, we've got two elements. If it's two elements, the next thing you're going to do is figure out, is it a metal and a nonmetal or two nonmetals? So we look at our periodic table here and we see carbon's here, it's to the right, so it's a nonmetal. Fluorine's here, it's to the right and it's a nonmetal. So you've got two nonmetals. Once you know that, then you know you've got a covalent compound. The only thing you have to remember for the covalent compounds is the Greek prefixes. And the Greek prefixes are: 1 is mono, 2 is di, 3 is tri, 4 is tetra, 5 is penta, 6 is hexa, 7 is hepta, H-E-P-T-A, 8 is octa, 9 is nona, and 10 is deca. Okay? The first one, mono for 1, is only used with oxygen. So what you do, there's 3 steps you have to follow. The first step is you write down the first one, or the leftmost nonmetal, and you just write it down. That's step 1. Step 2, you write down the name of the second one and you change its ending to IDE. So fluorine becomes fluoride. Now it's where your Greek prefixes come in handy. Remember, pre means in front of. So you look at carbon and you can see there's only one carbon there. Because there's one carbon, 1 is mono, but mono's only used with oxygen, so you leave the carbon alone. Fluorine, you look, there's 4 of them up there, and the Greek prefix for 4 is tetra. Greek prefix comes in front, so CF4 is carbon tetrafluoride. Now, that's when they give you the formula and you're going for the name. If you're going from the name to the formula, you write down carbon, and then you write down fluorine. Carbon doesn't have a Greek prefix, so you know there's 1 of them. Then you look here and you see tetra is 4, so it becomes CF4. Okay? Let's do another one. Say you're given P2O5. First thing you do is look and see how many elements there are. There's 2 elements, so now you decide is it covalent or ionic. Phosphorus is right here and oxygen is right here. They're 2 nonmetals, so you know it's covalent. Covalent, you write down the name of the first one. And I still can't spell. Then you write down the name of the second one, changing it to IDE. Now you assign the Greek prefixes. I've got 2 phosphorus, the Greek prefix for 2 is di, and the Greek prefix for 5 is penta. Okay? When you're going back the other way, you look what the Greek prefixes are. You write down P2O5. Pretty simple. Let me give you one more example. Again, you check 2 elements, 2 nonmetals, so it's covalent. So you write down the name of the first one. Write down the name of the second one, changing the ending to IDE. You look to see how many there are. There's 1 carbon, 1 is mono, but it's only used with oxygen, so you leave carbon alone. It's 2 oxygen, carbon dioxide. Okay? If you got questions, send them to me. That's it.